Hello everyone, it's a beautiful day in the canyons, and as you can see, I have a beautiful car behind me. This is the Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing. Designed to take on the BMW M3, the CT4-V Blackwing has a lot of hardcore hardware designed to make car enthusiasts weak in the knees. Under the hood is a 3.6-liter twin-turbocharged V6 engine that produces 472 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque, which is sent to the rear wheels via an electronically controlled limited-slip differential. In between that diff and that monster motor is either a 6-speed manual transmission, the Tremec TR6060, or a 10-speed automatic, the 10L90E. If you can't tell, based on the size, the CT4 rolls on the Alpha platform, the same underpinnings as the Camaro sports car, so naturally this thing must be pretty dynamic in the corners. That also means it gets standard magnetic ride control suspension. Those are fancy adaptive dampers. And with a base MSRP of just 60 grand, it's also a killer value. That's over 10 grand less than a BMW M3. This high-performance M3 killer has some awesome tech at play here in the interior. Of course, you can learn more by watching my full review of this vehicle also on the channel, but let me give you some of the highlights that you care about for this POV drive. First things up, we have this fully digital driver's display here that is configurable. Now, this is one of those vehicles where the drive modes have a very different personality behind the wheel. Right now I have in what's called My Mode, which is the fully configurable one. Things you can change on the Blackwing include the steering response, the braking response, the throttle response, the stiffness of the magnetic ride control dampers, and the bimodal exhaust system. It's a pretty comprehensive overhaul depending on what mode you're in. As you can see down here, we have a V button, which defaults you right away to the sportiest mode, and right over here, this little control right here is actually for your performance traction management. That's GM's advanced traction control system that has everything from inactive, off, wet, dry, sport, race 1, and race 2. And the cool thing about this car is if you want off, off is off. So that's great. You want to go do some drifting or some sliding. Beyond that, this interior is really nice. You want to learn more about the comforts, conveniences, things like that. Again, it's all in the review. I'm just focusing on the stuff we care about for our drive right now. And I like that on this screen, we have all this great pertinent driving information. Sure, we have the tachometer, but we also have water temp, oil pressure, boost pressure, MPG, whatever. The screen's configurable, can show you all this great information you want to know as a driver. Actually, I'm gonna start in tour mode, which is the default kind of comfort setting. The steering's in its softest setup, least resistance, same with the suspension, the exhaust is quieter, things like that. And then we'll crank it up as the day goes on. Woo-hoo! Bumpy, so these stiffer suspension settings that are available are actually overkill on this road. I like this tour suspension setting. It's the softest one, which is good, so like I mentioned, this road is bumpy, but I want a bit more of an authoritative voice from that twin-turbo V6. So let's turn it up a notch. Now we're in My Mode, which is the one I personally configured. Firmer steering response, maximum exhaust note, but the suspension in its more comfort-oriented setting, which is what you want on a winding road like this to soak up the bumps. traction management. It really is a race level traction control that's very rare to see on a road car. It's great technology. Those mid-corner bumps, it just sorted it right out. It's your boy, just checking in. Are you enjoying the video so far? Well, of course you are. That's because this is some grade A primo content we're talking about. So go ahead and show your support by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. It's free and it helps the channel. All right, back to the video. Great response from the brake pedal. Nice and firm with some feedback in the pedal. Very confidence inspiring. Such a nice quick up pass. Wow. Alright, let's turn up the drive mode selector again. We're going to skip snow and ice, not really relevant. We're going to put it in track mode now. As you can see, the gauge cluster changes. The suspension's at full stiff. Throttle response at full sharpness. Engine sound at full sharpness. The steering weight's up a bit more. And PTM has backed off a bit, so I need to be a bit more mindful of that. Because at the end of the day, this is a fast car. Woo! What you just saw there is another feature that this vehicle has. No lift shift. You can keep your foot flat on the throttle and it'll cut ignition for a second as you shift, which means it keeps the turbos spooled between shifts, making this thing very, very fast. Does 60 in 4 seconds flat. Runs the quarter 12.1 at 118 miles per hour. Has 189 mile per hour top speed. This thing is a weapon. No lift shift is a really cool feature for turbo cars. It really does keep those turbos spooled up between shifts. One other feature you might appreciate up here is the automatic rev matching. While I love driving manual transmission, doing it myself, and I've gotten pretty good at it at this point, if you are a bit less experienced but want to learn how to drive the stick to its maximum, you have to learn how to rev match between shifts. And this system will do it for you and kind of teach you what to do. So I'm in third gear going 50 miles per hour right now. Drop the shifter in a second, it builds the revs for me for a perfect downshift. It's amazing how, look at that. I'm good, but this is obviously better than me. And the cool thing is, even if you have the system on and you want to try it yourself, it'll back off and let you give it a shot. Jiggling a little bit. Track mode is obviously a bit overkill for the public roads. That's not what it's meant for. That's why it's called track mode. These dampers, when they're turned up, they are stiff, but man, they just soak up the bumps so well. It's really uncanny. middle of the road setting. And right away, the magnetic ride control's gotten a bit softer. It's not jostling me around as much in these couple of seats. Oh man, I'm gonna bully this E90 M3 in front of us. He lets us pass. We're not going very quickly, but he's going pretty slowly. That's more of an on or off switch in terms of the dynamics. This thing has a nice progressive breakaway, slight tendency towards understeer. You provoke it into oversteer if that's your thing. Really, really great chassis. Can't say enough good things about General Motors Alpha platform cars. They're just so nice. This thing just soaks up bumps and irregularities in the pavement. I mean, this is a firm riding car at all times, but it is such a great daily driver if that's what you're looking for, which is what this thing, I guess, really should be good at. Alright, I'm gonna drop it back down to my mode now. I think this is a great spec and a great way for this car to be. With the suspension in its softest setting, kind of the more relaxed chassis settings, but the engine and the exhaust playing its finest song. That's really the way to enjoy this vehicle, in my opinion. So there it is, the Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing. It looks great, it drives great, it makes you feel great behind the wheel, and it is such a weapon up here on a winding road. I think that's all I got for this POV drive. If you want to learn more about the Blackwing, like I mentioned, I have a full review of the vehicle on the channel. Check that out. It has everything you'd ever want to know about this thing, and I think that's all I got for this one, guys. So my name is Jake. You've been watching Drive, Break, Fix, Repeat, and I'll see you guys next time. We're going to do more fun things with cars. Bye.